that's true. You know, there've always been some concern that this administration wants to do away with guns. Is there any foundation to that at all, John?
Well, I knew Obama. I mean, we both taught at the University
You were in
of
Chicago. That's right.
Right. And the first time I met Barack, I went up and introduced myself, and he said, "Oh, you're the gun guy." and I said, "Yeah, I guess so." And he told me, he said, "I don't believe people should be able to own guns." And I said, well, because I knew he was helping out with the city of Chicago lawsuit against gun makers. I said, well, maybe we can have lunch sometime and talk about it. And he just kind of grimaced at me and turned around and walked away. And, you know, I know other people in the Obama administration, academics that I've known for a number of years, and I think these guys, you know, they're tied up with lots of other issues right now on health care and
economy,
global warming and the economy. And I just think it's a matter of time once they can get those things off the table that they would move to do other laws.
So you think it's possible they would go after your guns?
Well, I think they'll be as restrictive as they can be. I think there are a number of types of laws that they've talked about. Holder last year talked about reinstituting the assault weapons ban, and I think if they thought that they could get it through, and they thought that they weren't taken up with all these other issues, I think they would do it.
Did he all but ignore you at the university?
Well, you know, there are lots of people there at the university who disagree with you, but they like to argue and talk. Cass Sunstein, who works for Obama right now, a fairly well-known liberal law professor, I must have had over for dinner like 15, 18 times while he was there, and we would get together for dinner, and we'd argue for a couple hours and just have a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah.
But
no winners, right?
Yeah, no winners, but it was just fun. And didn't enjoy the process of talking about things. He was much more kind of ideological and just didn't to deal with people that he disagreed with.
Were you surprised when he became president?
You know, it's kind of weird, somebody that you've known like that, to become president.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I guess I was pretty shocked. I think the thing that surprised me the most was how different he seemed to be portrayed in the media than the guy that I knew. You know, maybe it had been 10 years since I'd really spent any time near him, and people can change in 10 years, surely, but I guess I just didn't think that he would have changed as much as he did.
Well, his dwindling popularity may show you that you indeed did know him the way he was thinking.
He was one of the most left-wing people that I knew around the University of Chicago, and you know, that's saying something in academia.
Yeah.
And also, as I say, it was just quite different in the sense that he just wasn't willing to go and talk to you about issues. He didn't enjoy the normal academic process of discussing things.
Dialogue. He didn't like
right.
That. Was there ever any question about his birth certificate?
No, I mean, nobody talked about those types of things. I mean, who cared where anybody was from if you're there? I mean, one thing I will say about Obama is he was never really brought in to be a regular visitor or lecturer on the faculty. The thing is, when he was brought in, some of the faculty objected because they didn't think that he was strong enough, but they were told he's not going to ever try to be a regular member of the faculty. They knew he was going to run for public office even before he stepped foot on the University of Chicago campus. You know, being a part-time lecturer where you don't have to do 3 hours a week.
Come back to your phone, by the way, John. Come back to your phone.
I'm right here. Can you hear me?
Yep, there you go.
Okay. You know, gives you a lot of time to go and do talks, community outreach,
sure.
go and organize for political activity. And so it was kind of viewed as kind of the ideal platform for him to get involved in politics.
Well, and I didn't want to make this a President Obama moment here, but I was very curious over your very accurate portrayal of what they may do to guns one day when some of their other major issues go away.
Yeah. No, it's worrisome. Well, I mean, I think the big thing right now is just what he's doing to the courts. Sonia Sotomayor was somebody who, even in her hearings, claimed that she didn't believe that individuals had a right to self-defense. And you can see that in a couple of the appeals court cases that she's ruled on. It seems pretty clear where she's coming from. And I think the types of judges that Obama's putting on the courts and the appeals court level are going to reflect similar views.
Very interesting. John, we're going to take some phone calls with you in the remaining half hour that we have. So I'm George Noory, back in a